Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Now today we are going to be talking about the Houston Outlaws and the Overwatch League power rankings for Season 4. And this just looks like a typical Houston Outlaws roster. It will be also a very typical Houston Outlaws year. What I mean about that, they are going to be shit. They're going to be very shit. They have great pieces, they have some great players, they have some great coaches. They just can't play together. So let's go down the roster. So in DPS, they kept Dante and Hydration. Probably the two best DPS players like in the team other than Linkser, obviously. They got rid of Blase and Linkser, and they added Happy, KSF, and Jake has rejoined. Uh, I don't understand why they got four American players, four Western players, and one Korean as the DPS. I just don't get this. I think KSF could have gone to like a different team. Even like Happy could have also gone to a different team. Jay could have just stayed in the fucking commentary box with ZP, but he decides to go back to pro, even though he was retired for a year and then he came back. Is he even going to get any playtime? I have no clue. But they also have five DPS players, and I don't know why. I think what I was originally also for the Shock, but then Arms retired, so I think they now have four. Houston is just now has five DPS players, and who the what do they want to do with them? Because it's obviously going to be most likely Dante and Hydration in it. If not, it's probably going to be like, I don't know, KSF and Hydration. Like, who the fuck can play projectile other than Hydration? Just who? Like, maybe Jake? Even though he's mainly known for his Soldier 76. He's also known for his Junkrat as well, but what else? Who else can play projectile? Like, I feel like everyone is like a hit scan player. And then there's just Hydration, who's just a fucking projectile. Like, what the fuck? I don't understand what they're going on with this DPS lineup. Anyways, um, DPS, I'll call that as a meh. It's not the best. It's probably going to be around like a 4 or 5. It can be also like a 6 or 7, but I'm so confused about this DPS roster. Support, they have Crimzo and Juby. Crimzo, he wasn't that bad. He was probably just average in flex support. I was very excited when he joined Dallas last season, but then he felt like he kind of shit the bed. Juby, I have no clue how it's gonna go. I think he's probably gonna struggle. I'm sorry, but he's probably gonna struggle. He, I, I, I haven't seen a lot of gameplay of him, obviously, because he was, well, before he joined Houston, he was in a collision team, and now he's in the Overwatch League. So he's jumped 3 or 2 tiers. He's jumped contenders, he's jumped open division, and now he's in the Overwatch League. Yes, that makes so much sense. But the support is definitely the weakest point in this team. The strongest point, in my opinion, oh yeah, support, uh, Boink, Rappel, Jaxay, Raucus, no, definitely worse. Tanks is possibly the best. They have Piggy and Jonggu. These two were formerly from the I think Talent Esports, which is a contender team in Korea, formerly from Pacific, and I have a lot of faith in these two because they already have the synergy of tanks. They already know that they already know how well they can play and everything. I have some pretty high hopes for the tanks. Like, I think maybe the tanks is possibly going to be carrying this team. Maybe also Dante as well, but that's about it. Because for some reason they decided to have 5 DPS players and only have 1 projectile. But yeah, definitely better than last season's tanks, which was Meko, Muma, Spree, and Cool Matt. Definitely better. But just yeah, I think yeah. I think Houston fans should only be very excited for the tanks for Piggy and Jungwoo. I'm also pretty excited how well they play as well, if they can actually mesh with the team. Because I don't think they have even played in a mixed roster before, so this could be the first time they play in a mixed roster. So, oh god, some languages are going to be, well, I think there's definitely going to be a language barrier. Certainly, a language barrier there, so Houston probably has some work to do if they want to really, have good communication all across the board. So, for the Starlight, well, we already know about the tank support. It's just the DPS. So first, it's gonna be hydration because hydration can play projectile, and for hit scan, it's probably just gonna be KSF or Dante. I don't even think Happy and Jake are gonna get any playtime unless they do like in like a certain map or for a certain character. Because the hit scans just overlap each other. Like, I guess Jake's like the only one who can kind of play projectile, because he can play the Junkrat and maybe the Pharah as well. But Hydration can play the Pharah, he can play the Genji. He can play, like, what else like can he play in like projectile? What else? Let's have a look. He can play the Doomfist, he can play the Pharah, the Genji. He can also be a fucking main tank if is it Jungwoo who's a main tank? I think it is, yeah. And like for Jake, Junkrat, Soldier 76, Pharah, Genji, Hanzo. I guess maybe Hanzo only, but I have no fucking clue. I don't know what they really want to do, but yeah. So now we'll now move on to the organization, which for some reason has a lot of content creators because they had like this thing about content creator or something. Apparently, Jake is also the director of talent development, which I did not even realize, but yeah. So that basically also means that Jake won't get any playtime. So there's only two coaches, even though there are both head coaches. We got Harsha, who joined last season, and we also have Jungbuck, who was formerly from the San Francisco Shock. I, this is not going to be a good coaching staff. I'll be honest. We only have two. They don't have like I think like the good spot. I think I said for like one of the teams was like 3 or 4. I'm fine with having 3 or 4 coaches. There's two. It's like nah, man. That's gonna be terrible. So they I don't know if they're gonna do well. Maybe Jake can probably also be a coach, like how Mangachu was like a coach while playing as well. If Jake was a coach, I would have more praises for the coaching staff. But only Harsha and Junkbuck, I think they're gonna struggle. Just like this team is also gonna struggle. Definitely going to be in the back of the pack. Who would they get rid of? So they got rid of Dream and Hoobeg. I think Hoobeg and Dream did pretty well. Well, mainly Hoobeg. But yeah, I guess Dream. Yeah, well, Dream retired to go to Valorant. But I think Hoobeg was pretty good. But yeah, there's the Houston Outlaws roster. It looks so fucking weird. Oh my god. Power rankings here. Well, let's just There we go. I think I'm pulling. Wait, where'd I pull London actually? Wait, hang on. Because I think yeah, I'm gonna make quite a lot of changes in this. Okay, yeah, okay. Um, I now decided I'm gonna move Boston and London up. I'm gonna put Houston below London. Because I have more faith on that London team than I do on the Houston Outlaws, and that's saying something. Because London does have some potential, I'll be honest, but yeah, it doesn't really look too great. And um, I'm also going to the exact same thing as I did earlier. I'm going to put Boston and London up. That is not right. I need to do that. There we go. I think that's a good one, I guess. Let me actually do it now on screen. There we go. I will obviously make more changes, when I'm done with this, but, yeah. So, with the Houston Outlaws done, we now move on to the New York Excelsior. That's gonna be very, very interesting because I have some I don't really understand that roster. But anyways, so until then, goodbye.